the most dangerous victims are the ones with good reasons. And so, like, here's some common phrases that you're going to hear in marriage, right? I've already tried that. Or they won't meet me halfway. Or I shouldn't have to do this. Or why am I always the one changing? Right? And so if you think about it, that line is so true, because if you have good reasons to be the victim, how much more likely are you going to stay stuck in that pattern of thinking?
Yeah.
And it feels justified.
And we were was it just yesterday we were talking about, like, life is hard enough without adding marital problems on top of it. You know, like, and I think we live in this culture that just expects marriage to be hard and doesn't expect much out of marriage. So we just, like, let it go.
Yeah.
But what if you really could have a thriving, happy marriage? Like, what if you really could? If you really could enjoy each other, and then every step you take, every sacrifice you have to make, every meeting of the halfway that you have to do is worth it. Welcome back to another episode of the Married with the Mugicas podcast. We are so excited that you're here. We are Richard and Hailey Mugica. We have been married for 12 years. We have 4 kids. We have a home-based business and we homeschool. And we've been together since high school. Lots of other fun things. Anything else they need to know about us?
You broke up with me, and that was...
when I was 17.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the audience should know this.
I don't know why.
You broke up with me and you left me out to dry.
Oh my gosh. You deserved it at the time.
But you know what? Let me tell you something. Your parents liked me.
They did.
And so your parents were like, you can't let Rich go. He's got to come back. I had your dad fishing for me. Your mom was fishing for me. Hey, look, you know, they know when they got the good ones.
It is true.
They know.
It is true.
Yes.
Anyways, what's anything fun this week? It's the week before Christmas. Christmas is one week from today. Yeah,
a week before Christmas. And here's the thing, and I know this is way off topic, but I'm actually glad my beard's growing back.
Okay.
Yes.
We're going with left field.
We're going left field here because check it out. I was looking, I was like, dude, you know what? Because about a month ago, I shaved my beard and it went like shorter than I wanted to. But now that it's getting fuller, and you've always told me this, like you got to keep the beard full. You got to. And I honestly, I
can't tell you.
I don't know if I'm going to do that again.
How happy I am to hear you say that.
I got to get my head right.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
Because I did. I was like, man, I'm like really glad my beard's growing back in.
Me too. I love your beard. And you got the chest hair going with the shirt today. You're just trying to score all the points.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, I need the points.
No, you don't.
No, but it's a good day. We got the Starbucks. Besides that,
put it there.
What's going? Oh yeah. Besides that, what's going down? Chris, dude, we're switching it up this year. Christmas Eve.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think that's a big one.
It is a big one. So we're hosting Christmas Eve with my side of the family on Christmas Eve. So normally we've always like done the whole double up thing and our families are not close. They're over an hour away from each other. And we would have to go to this family.
Yeah.
And then we spend 4 hours in the car because you've got holiday traffic. And then we're doing the other family. And Christmas Day has just never been super enjoyable for us because it's just been a lot. And this year was the first year my mom agreed to let me host and do our family thing on Christmas Eve instead of Christmas Day.
Woo, woo.
So it'll be the first time,
that'll be great,
literally since I was born, that I haven't seen my mom on Christmas Day. So I'm a little sad about it. But, you know, marriage is about concessions, so we're okay.
We're switching it up this year.
We're switching it up.
First year my mom has not done Thanksgiving ever in 50,
yes, I hosted Thanksgiving
years.
This year.
You hosted Thanksgiving. I'm telling you what, this is a new year, baby.
It's a new year.
New year, new us. Well, almost.
So it'll be less stressful for us, for sure.
It'll be much less stressful. Yeah.
Which we've always told our families, we're not willing to double up on any holidays except for Christmas Day. That was the one that we were like, okay, fine, we'll double up that. But like Thanksgiving, Easter, somebody's got to do a different day because we're just going to one, but we're not doubling up.
We are not going to double up.
Looks like we're taking Christmas off the table too, which is a huge relief for us.
Woo, woo. Toot it up.
And aside from that, I'm done with our Christmas shopping, which that's a huge relief.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I've got 7 days to go. I've only got a couple gifts left to wrap. I'm like way ahead of the curve. I'm so happy.
You deserve a high five for
I
that
do.
one.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. But if you are not done with your Christmas shopping yet, you're going to appreciate this segue because this is pretty good. If you're not done with your Christmas shopping yet.
But wait.
We have a last minute Christmas gift idea for you.
Oh, that's very true.
Do.
Yes. 100%.
And our Christmas gift idea for you is Spark Check-In.
Yes.
We are so excited about Spark Check-In. Spark Check-In is the app that Rich and I created to help couples stay connected, to avoid that drift that can happen. It's 10 minutes or less a week. You do it on your own. Your spouse does it on their own. You answer the same 5 questions every week. You come together on date night or with a cup of tea on the couch when your kids go to bed, whenever it works, and go over your summary, see what you need to talk about, see what you're aligned on, set some goals together as a couple. It's just super fun.
Yeah. And I'll put it like this. Look, I mean, this is just the bottom line. If 2026, you're like, dude, I want my marriage to thrive in every way possible, I definitely think Spark should be a part of it.
Yeah.
And we've already had 4 people do video testimonials saying that this has been a game changer in their marriage. It's helping them communicate more. It's helping them open up more. They haven't talked about subjects like this in years. We just had a lady, she's been married for 20 years. And in her testimonial said, you know what? I've never been kind of able to discuss this part with my husband, but with the app, it just made it so much more friendly to bring up.
Yeah.
And she's like, and my husband did too. And so I just really
it was
think,
something silly. Like she wanted him to kiss her before he left for work in the morning.
Yes. And she just didn't feel like she could say it to him.
Yeah.
Even though they've been married for 20 plus years, but in the app, she was just like, I was able to say it.
Yeah.
And he saw it. And now we're like on the same page with this. So I don't know. I was really excited to hear that. I think it's the greatest Christmas gift. And I'll tell you what, look, I'm talking to the ladies. The reason why I'm talking to the ladies is because our audience is like 95% women. So for the 2 dudes listening to this is for you too. But honestly, if 2026, you say, look, I'm committed to my marriage. I want it to grow. I want it to be the best thing ever, because if your marriage is the best thing ever, I promise you your life is the best thing ever. And so I think Spark should be part of that. So it's a great Christmas gift.
Yeah, I agree. So the link's in the bio if you want to go check that out. We highly recommend it. We really created it because it was something that we really wanted.
Yes.
And it's a practice that we started over a decade ago, early on in our marriage, with a physical book. And we really just wanted a digital way to do it.
100%.
So we created Spark and we love it. And we're super excited about it.
Yes.
And aside from that, let's get on with the podcast. So
today's a good one.
Yes. Last week we talked about what culture says about marriage versus what the Bible says, and how those contradict each other, and how as Christians we should view our marriage and behave within our marriage and treat our spouse and all of those fun things. And I thought that was such a cool conversation.
It was a very good conversation. Yes.
Because there is such a huge disparity between culture and biblical standard. And today we are talking about one of my favorite topics in the world, which is the victim mentality.
Oh, man.
And how it not only will ruin your marriage, but it will ruin your life.
Yes.
It'll ruin everything.
Yes.
The victim mentality is a poison, and we're going to talk about it.
Yes. It is a poison. And to your point, it infiltrates everything in your life. Because if you have a victim mentality around your work, you're probably going to have a victim mentality in your marriage.
And that's the thing, is people that have it just kind of, that it's woven in their life. It's how they see everything. Life.
So let's start with this. How do you define victim mentality? What is it?
Ooh. Seeing yourself as, ultimately what it is it's removing yourself of not only any responsibility, but any power in any given situation. What's happening is happening to you and against you, and you can't do anything about it. Mm-hmm. And that is almost never true. Mm-hmm. I promise you, you in some way contribute to the problem, which is fantastic news, because it means in some way you can fix it. Even if it means you have to just remove yourself and that is the fix, you have the power to do that.
Yes. Yeah.
So how would you define it? That's
well, here, I have a sentence for it.
Okay.
So victim mentality in marriage is the belief that I am powerless unless my spouse changes. And so the funny thing about that, right? The funny thing about, hey, I am powerless unless my spouse changes, it feels right. Like, it feels like, you know what? Well, our marriage is not that good. It's got to be my spouse, because I'm dialed in, right? I'm not really sinning all that much. I'm doing my job. I'm taking care of the kids. I'm whatever. And so it feels very justified, right? And another point is it feels like logical. It's like, hey, if I'm doing my part, then it can't be me. It must be my spouse. And the funny part about the victim mentality is that it creeps in little by little until one day what it does is it erodes the trust in your relationship with your spouse. It erodes the intimacy with your spouse. And that slow drift that we all talk about, I believe is the root cause of it is a victim mentality. Because what happens is you're always thinking the spouse is the problem, resentment grows, and everything in the marriage starts drifting. And as soon as you can stop that poison,
diminishes.
And respect diminishes. Yes.
Right? Because if I'm perfect and my husband's the problem with our marriage,
yes,
naturally my respect for him is going to go down.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Which it's one of those cyclical problems.
So you know Dr. John Deloney?
Yes, I love him.
Yeah. He's one of your favorite guys. Yes. I like Dr. John Deloney because when I listen to him, and if you haven't listened to him, he's a great guy to listen to. He talks to a lot of marriages, marital problems. But the one thing that I love about his segments is he doesn't let the person get away with a victim mentality. It's always the person that calls, he stays on it with them. Hey, forget about your spouse really quick.
Yeah.
What are you doing to improve? What are you doing to get better? What can you do right now to improve your relationship with your spouse? He always lets the other person off the hook because they're not on the call.
Yeah.
Like, I can't change that guy. The only person that matters right now is you, and what are we going to do going forward? And that's why I love his advice, because he doesn't let marriages get away with the nonsense.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyways, anything to add on top of that?
No.
Yeah. I have another phrase here.
Okay.
It says, the most dangerous victims are the ones with good reasons. And so, like, here's some common phrases that you're going to hear in marriage, right? I've already tried that. Or they won't meet me halfway. Or I shouldn't have to do this. Or why am I always the one changing? Right? And so if you think about it, that line is so true, because if you have good reasons to be the victim, how much more likely are you going to stay stuck in that pattern of thinking?
Yeah.
And it feels justified.
And we were was it just yesterday we were talking about, like, life is hard enough without adding marital problems on top of it. You know, like, and I think we live in this culture that just expects marriage to be hard and doesn't expect much out of marriage. So we just, like, let it go.
Yeah.
But what if you really could have a thriving, happy marriage? Like, what if you really could? If you really could enjoy each other, and then every step you take, every sacrifice you have to make, every meeting of the halfway that you have to do is worth it. Instead of, like, I shouldn't have to do that. It's like, it's a constant step towards that always. But it's worth it.
It's always worth it.
It's worth it.
Yeah. And so I'll tell you a book that changed our marriage. Well, it changed my life, but it also crept into everything else I did. It was a book by Jocko Willink called Extreme Ownership. Now, look, ladies, you might think, hey, Jocko's a little too intense for me, but I would really encourage anybody listening to this podcast to read that book, because in that book, he brings up the concept of extreme ownership.
Yes.
And the reason why it's extreme is because what Jocko says, what he learned in the military, leading platoons of guys.
He's a Navy SEAL.
He was a Navy SEAL. He was a leader. He was a guy out there, like, directing his troops. And he said the hardest part about being the leader was that I had to take responsibility for everything that went wrong.
Yeah. And then he tells the story about the rowboats. Tell that story.
Well, he talks about in SEALs training, how the leadership in the platoon was so evident. And he talks about these two teams where they had to do a relay race in a rowboat. So each team had a leader, and then it was like whoever finishes the relay race first wins the battle, right? And he talks about one platoon leader over another platoon leader. And so what happens is this one platoon leader, they do the relay race and he wins it, right? So then what they decide to do is say, well, we're going to switch the crews, but keep the same leaders, right? So then, because everybody's like, well, you guys had better people. You guys had this, you guys had that. So he's like, okay, well, let's just keep the same leaders. Let's switch the crews. The same leader won again.
With the other crew.
With the other crew. And I have chills running down my arms, because that goes to show you that we always want to blame the crewmates. Nobody wants to just say the leader is the problem. And Jocko says it over and over in the book. He's like, the leader is the one who sets the tone, and a team will win or die because of leadership.
Yeah.
And here's the kicker. Leadership is extreme ownership. Everything is your fault. And so when I learned this concept, I remember we talked about it, you and I said, babes, this guy Jocko, like, this is radical, right? Yeah. But I remember
it was life-changing.
It was life-changing because I was like, dude, he's right. It's all my fault. I have
and
to.
that's such
I have
an
to,
empowering position.
I have to believe it and I have to live it. And up until this day, as you know this, anybody that comes up to me and says, hey, what's your secret to marriage? It's always the same answer: extreme ownership.
Mm-hmm.
Take responsibility for everything that's going wrong and give responsibility to others for everything that goes right. And that's the crazy part.
Yeah.
The leader takes responsibility for what goes wrong, but the leader also gives praise to other people for what goes right.
Mm-hmm.
And that just sucks. I mean, if you think about it, you're like, dude, this sucks. Why ever get praise? But the reality is, dude, you're the leader. And make no mistake about it, the wife is a leader and so is the husband.
That's the really important thing I wanted to talk about is, okay, we believe in biblical hierarchy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Christ is the head of the husband is the head of the family.
Yes.
So as far as leadership goes in a family structure, the husband's the leader. But we all are responsible for leading our own lives, right?
Oh, yes.
So I don't lead our family, but I do lead myself.
Exactly.
And so that concept of extreme ownership very much still applies to me and how I'm going to view my own behavior and my own contribution to our marriage.
Yes.
I'm not just like, Richard's the problem with everything. And we both have to view it as our own problem to fix, which means if we're both fixing the problem, there isn't a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there never is a problem.
Amazing.
Now, look, I know the next thing that's going to happen with somebody listening to this.
Okay,
yeah, that's a cool story, but my husband or my wife would
really
never
is the problem.
Like, no, well, he'll never do that. Like, I'll be the one just taking on all the full ownership, but they're not going to take on the ownership.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you're starting off in the wrong perspective. It doesn't matter. Right now, let's just work on you.
Mm-hmm.
You just start taking full ownership. Just saying, you know what? My husband, maybe I could do a little bit better. Maybe I could treat him a little bit. Maybe I can give him some more encouragement. Maybe I can pump him up a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I can tell him that he's a better, like, there's things that you can do right now. Same for husbands. If you're listening to this, forget about your wife. What can you do starting today? Because this is what I can tell you. As soon as you start doing this, what naturally happens? Your wife's like, or your husband's like, dude, something's a little bit different.
Yes.
Why did I get this text message today? Why is she praising me? Why is she telling me that I'm more awesome like than normal? And then little by little, what happens?
They reciprocate. Yes. And respect goes up.
Yes. Up. And then it might not happen overnight, but it happens. Because why? Because now somebody feels appreciated. They feel like you care. They feel like, oh my gosh, I'm being heard. Oh my gosh, she's not yelling at me for leaving my clothes on the floor. Like, she's giving me some more grace. Little by little, these things add up. And now this is the Holy Grail. When you have two people in a marriage that take extreme ownership. Now, when that happens, it's like the Holy Grail.
Yes.
By the way, which is why we created sparkcheckin.com. Just a little plug right there. But that's literally what happens.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, it's like that movie Fireproof, which I've referenced 100 times on this podcast, but that's what the whole movie's about, right? Is this marriage that's in crisis. And the whole point in the movie is like, one of you has to stop. Like, one of you has to stop the cycle and start just behaving differently. And you might have to do that for a couple of days. You might have to do that for years before your spouse believes it and jumps on board with you, but they will jump on board with you. Yeah. And it's kind of like having that reputation, right? We talked about this last week, but you get girlfriends together and they start husband bashing.
Yeah.
You want to be the one in the friend group that has the reputation that they don't do that, because then that holds other people to a higher standard of, oh, I don't do that around Hailey because Hailey doesn't really do that and it's really uncomfortable. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or as soon as I start talking that way in the group, Hailey walks away and so you get this reputation that you don't partake in that, and then people don't do it around you. Yes. And the same thing can happen in your marriage. If you guys are nagging and just critical of each other, and then you stop being critical and you stop being nagging and you stop being harsh, eventually your spouse is going to be like, man, she's not really talking that way anymore. Like, it's kind of uncomfortable to talk to her like that. You know what I mean? Like, it catches on. Yes. But you have to be willing to make the first step. You just have to. Yes.
And make no mistake about it. The first step is the hardest step, right? Getting momentum is the hard part, but you can start that today. Mm-hmm. I promise you can.
Yeah. It's one decision every time.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Like, it's so easy. It's so easy for the victim mentality to creep into marriage. And I'll give you some of the contrast between maybe what the husband's thinking to what the wife's thinking. So, for example, a lot of husbands listening to this, like, why they kind of get into the victim mentality is because they feel like they are working really hard to support the marriage. They're coming home, they feel exhausted, and they feel like, man, I'm out there, I'm trying to battle, I'm trying to, provide and protect, and I just feel underappreciated, right? Mm-hmm. She's not noticing. She's not giving me, the encouragement. She's not whatever. And now that slowly, what happens is they start feeling sorry for themselves, right? Well, screw that, passive aggressive. And I don't know if you remember this, Bedros, he had this great segment on the nice guy. Do you remember? Do you remember this? He's like, listen, you don't want to be the nice guy. You don't
want to be the nice guy.
The nice guy is the guy that looks his wife in the face and says, I love you, and then talks behind her back. The nice guy is the guy that says, oh, good morning, honey. But then when push comes to shove, he's passive aggressive and he won't show intimacy the way that he should because he's a little frustrated with his wife. The nice guy comes home and high fives his kids and doesn't, take ownership or responsibility for their behaviors and doesn't discipline. Like the nice guy is just a facade, right? He's nice on the outside, but he's not getting it done in the home, right? And then he talks about the other guy. How does he contrast it?
I don't remember the contrast.
He's like, you want to be the kind, the kind man. He's like, yeah, that was the difference. Let me tell you about the nice man versus the kind man. And the kind man tells you the truth. The kind man looks his wife in the face and is honest with her and has the tough conversations. The nice guy or the kind guy is, everything that a wife would want his husband to be. And so I think a lot of times men can start being the nice guy, and you just got to eradicate the nice guy. Eradicate the nice guy.
Yeah. And I have to say, I think there's nothing less attractive than the victim mentality or the man who feels sorry for himself or the woman. Like there's just nothing less attractive than that.
Yeah.
Okay. And now how does the victim mentality, so we talked about in marriage, how does it creep into other areas of your life? Like what would it look like? How would you identify it in yourself if you have the victim mentality or not? What would that look like at work? What would that look like? Like, what would that look like in a life?
It's very easy to spot. Like work. Let me give you some phrases. My boss just won't give me the raise. They don't see the work that I put in.
What does ownership look like?
Ownership looks like this. Hey, you know what? My boss 3 times in a row has not given me the raise. I got to figure out what I'm doing wrong to get this raise. There's something I'm doing that the boss is not seeing, or I'm just not doing the right stuff. Like I got to figure this out. Right. 2 different ways. Look, the number 2 guy, guess what happens? He starts looking for solutions.
Right.
What is the solution? Number 1 guy? Oh, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to wait till next year. I'm going to have to try again. This sucks. Like nobody sees me. Nobody understands what I'm going through.
People just don't like me. Poor me.
People just don't like me. But that's in every asset of life. Like, give me another.
So what would it look like? Just like in your own, like how you view the world, your outlook on the world, what would a victim mentality look like versus an ownership mentality?
Well, a lot of it too. I mean, not to get too controversial, but like the government, right? It's like, well, the government won't take care of me. Like oh man, everything's so expensive nowadays, right? Like it's just not fair. I'm just being real.
Oh no. Okay. You had such a good example of this the other day. I was talking to you about how expensive the world is and how because my concern is for our kids, example. How are they going to be able to afford? We live in Southern California, very expensive. How are they going to be able to afford a home one day? And what was your response to that? Because it was so good.
Yeah. Well, the premise of it was that everybody today tells us how much more expensive things are, and the housing prices are so astronomical, and food prices, gas prices, everything's up. And what I said was, yeah, that's all true. But the other story that people forget about is that we live in a day and age where making money is a heck of a lot easier as well. You have AI now that can build a website in a matter of seconds.
Okay.
Where something that took days to months, you can do in seconds with AI. You have technology nowadays where you don't have to put any money in to start a business. You started this podcast with an idea, right? It's never been easier to generate money and to live a good life, but it's also never been harder because of the victim mentality and also because of the distractions that we have, right? It's easy to flip through social media for 10 hours a day and look at the funny videos.
Yourself,
But it's very hard to say, I'm concentrated on this and this is my way out and I'm going to do it.
But that's a perfect example is the whole AI conversation, right?
Yeah.
You have one side of the aisle that's saying AI is coming and is taking all of our jobs and victim, right?
Yep.
Or you have the other side that's saying, oh my gosh, AI can help me build a business and I can learn how to harness AI to build something.
Yep.
That's empowerment.
Oh, it's empowerment. Yep. The employee right now, the two different employees. Employee one goes, man, AI sucks. It took my job. Employee two says, dude, it took my job. That's never going to happen again.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn this and I'm going to run with this. Right. Mm-hmm. It's just the perspectives and it all starts with the victim mentality. Mm-hmm. And it infiltrates everything that we do.
Yes. And I don't think it's possible to have a victim mentality in one area of your life and not the others. I think if you have it, it's just kind of your overarching how you view the world, how you view life in general. Right. Would you agree?
It's a worldview.
Do you think it's possible to have the victim mentality in one area and not in others?
I would say that's a good question.
I don't think so, because I think it's such a hard flip. Like it's like a literal light switch. The light can't be on and off at the same time. You know, like I can't view life from a lens of like, how do I fix this problem to viewing it from poor me. Like I don't think you can do both.
I don't think you can either. And I don't know about you, but I'm ruthless with those thoughts. I cannot let it infiltrate my mind. I just can't.
Yeah.
Because I know as soon as I let it hold me, like I'm done.
It's done.
I'm no longer. Have you heard of self-imprisonment or rats that they? So let me tell you about this study. So, and this happens to individuals across the board, right? So they got a group of rats, and what they did with them, they put a electrical fence around them, right? So when the rat would try to get out of the cage, it would shock them. So the rat would go, shock. Oh crap, that hurt. You know, They did it like once or twice, and then they would never do it again. And then what they did is say, well, look, let's just take the electric fence away. So they take the fence away and they thought the rats would escape, but they don't.
Right.
They don't move. The walls are gone, right? The prison is gone.
We did that with our own dog.
Yes.
Remember, we used to have a dog that used to escape our yard.
Yes.
We put up an electric fence.
Yeah.
He got shocked once or twice.
Yes.
We turned the fence off. It was not a live fence anymore. He could have jumped over if he wanted to. He never tried again.
Never tried again. Do you know how many humans are doing that, living that same life, right? They did something. They had a bad outcome, a bad experience. The fence is now set. Guess what? The fence is gone. Mm-hmm. They can go do something else again, but they never do. Mm-hmm. It's called self-imprisonment. And a lot of people deal with that, especially in marriage, because they're like, well, my wife hurt me here. My husband hurt me there. The fence is now built. The fence is gone. They won't change.
Yeah.
And so it's a real thing. I have a sentence here that I think kind of is good for this whole segment, but it says, we weren't fighting for the marriage. We were fighting each other for the title of who has it worse.
The Oppression Olympics.
The Oppression Olympics.
They were playing the Oppression Olympics.
You know, sometimes you've told me this actually multiple times in my marriage. When I start kind of getting, sometimes I'll complain or something. You say, don't be the martyr. Like, don't be the martyr. Like, you're ruthless with the victim mentality. Because sometimes I say stupid things that will lead you to believe that I'm trying to be like a little bit of a victim. You snap me back right out of it. And you know what I'm talking about, right? Don't even play the martyr right now. You are not the martyr. You'll tell this to our kids all the time.
Oh yeah.
Riker, you are not the martyr. Like,
that is probably
stop being that.
My biggest pet peeve in the world.
You correct it like instantly. Any type of, what's it called?
Victim mentality.
Victimhood. Oh, dude, no, we're stopping that.
Not in my house.
Not in my house.
Not happening.
You can take that somewhere else.
No, you can't. That ain't here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. I think I got that from my dad. My dad was very much that way.
Got another one for you.
Okay.
If you're waiting for your spouse to change so you can finally be joyful, you aren't a partner. You're a hostage. And the person holding the gun is you.
If you're waiting to be joyful for your partner to change, you're not a partner. You're a hostage. And the person holding the gun is you.
So, I find, what I find very fascinating. And I think the reason why the victim mentality, if I were to be completely transparent, is so prevalent in today's age is because of Genesis 3. And if you think about what happens in Genesis 3 in the Bible, what does Adam do? Adam eats the apple.
But Eve told me to.
Eve
made me do it.
That's literally the victim mentality. Yeah, but it wasn't my fault. She told me to do it. And he just gave away all his power. It was no longer about him. And I honestly think the reason why we have a culture that is so indoctrinated in the victim mentality is because Adam set the stage for it long, long, long ago.
Yeah. But culturally, we also live in a culture where whoever's more oppressed gets more leeway. They get more praise. They get more opportunity because we play the oppression Olympics, right? 100%. So the least oppressed is the white heterosexual male, right? So like, that's like, they're the oppressor in every situation. And then the more melanin you have in your skin, the more on the LGBTQ IA alphabet soup spectrum you are, the further oppressed you are, the more you're like, oh, yay, here's a parade for you. And we're not going to touch you. And you can get into all the special schools because we don't want you to have your feelings hurt. And it doesn't help anybody.
Doesn't help anybody.
And now we just have a bunch of victims that are striving to be victims because they get treated better if they're the victim. So I'm trying to prove I'm a bigger victim than you are. Always. And it's like, take some power back.
Take some freaking power back.
You know?
Yeah, that's also in sports, man. Like, I'm not going to cheer my son on for getting a 5th place trophy. But even though they come in 5th place, but he gets a trophy.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to be like, son, oh my gosh, you're congratulations. You're great. Like,
and that's like,
I'm like, son, that's a 5th place trophy.
And I'm not going to like condemn you for that because I think you can learn a lot from failure. Yeah. So it's like, hey, we're not going to talk about how great this was. We're going to talk about what we learned from failing and what we can do better next time to do better than 5th place.
Yeah.
Not because we have the potential and the power to do better. So we're going to see what we can do to do better.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We're not just going to sit there and clap for 5th place.
We're not going to do it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
And your boss isn't going to clap for 5th place one day. So why would we do it for our children? It's just a weird thing.
Yeah, your boss is going to be like, hey, dude, you're fired.
You're fired.
You're fired.
Because you know what? There's 4 people better at your job than you are, and I don't need a 5th.
Yes. That is real life.
That's real life.
100%. Yeah. And there's so many ways I can go about this. This is why I'm not a big fan of the government. Like, get rid of the whole thing, you know, like.
Get rid of the whole thing.
Yeah, you can't anyways, that's a whole nother thing. But another example from the Bible is, and Jesus kind of does this perfectly for us. But if you think about who the ultimate victim of injustice was, it was Jesus, right?
Legitimate injustice.
He was betrayed, he was beaten, and ultimately killed. And in John 10:18, it says this from Jesus. He says, "No one takes it from me, but I lay down my own accord." And what he's saying there is like, these people are not taking my life. Like they are not the problem.
I'm giving it to them.
I am giving it to them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the ultimate version of taking extreme ownership. I am putting myself in this place. I am doing it. Nobody's doing it to me. And Ed Milet, we've talked about Ed Milet before, but the two most powerful perspectives in life will determine a lot of the outcomes in your life. One perspective is life happens to me, right? Oh, this happened to me. Oh my gosh, this happened to me. Or the other perspective is life happens for me. And they've done multiple studies on this over and over. People that win the lottery, usually miserable. You would think it'd be one of the greatest things that ever happens in somebody's life.
Mm-hmm.
Years later, they're broke, they're depressed, they're back to being poor again, and they're miserable. You can take somebody else, paraplegic, right? Lost their arms, legs, can't move anything. Sometimes some of the happiest people on earth. Why? Because they have come to the realization that I can either say this happened to me or this happened for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that distinction you can play out in your marriage as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I listened to a podcast, the Live Free with Josh Howerton today, and he was talking about how so he was talking about heaven and hell, and he was saying hell is the only fair place in the world. Like, we think how unfair that God would send people to hell, right? It's the only fair place in the world where you got what you deserve, right?
Yeah.
Heaven, the fact that any of us can get to heaven at all by the grace of Jesus Christ alone is so unfair. I don't deserve that, right?
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, it's a really good point.
And it's just, I don't know, something about what you just said triggered that thought in me about fair. Oh, because you were saying life happens to me or against me or whatever. Like, just roll with it. Like, everything that's fair. Like, you're if something bad happens to you, it's not unfair. Like, it's just life. Just move on.
Just life,
it's just life.
It's just life.
And this is what I always tell my kids. Life's not fair, and that's what makes it fair. Like, it's not fair for anybody.
Yeah, everybody's playing the same game.
We all get nonsense. Some people, for sure, get more nonsense than others.
Yep.
We all get nonsense. It's not unfair to get nonsense. It's just life. And you need to figure out how to deal with the cards you're dealt and move on and take control, take ownership.
So hard to do.
Yeah.
So hard.
Yeah.
Let me get your reaction to this one.
Okay.
You cannot walk in the authority of the Holy Spirit while you are wallowing in the pity of the flesh. Pick one. Agree?
Say it one more time.
You cannot walk in the authority of the Holy Spirit while you are wallowing in the pity of the flesh. You got to pick one.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Pretty intense. Huh? So signs you are operating in the victim mentality. Okay, I'll give you 3 of them. So number 1 is maybe 4. Number 1 is a scorekeeper. Okay. You don't want to be the scorekeeper in marriage. You tally who did more, like who did more dishes, who slept more. Oh, well, I didn't sleep that good last night. Oh, well, I did this. You didn't do that. I changed more diapers. Get rid of the scorekeepers. Agree, disagree?
100% agree.
Don't be that guy. We already talked about this one, the martyr. You do work, but you sigh loudly while doing it, so everyone knows you're suffering. Our kids do this great.
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. Women are really good at this.
Now, it does say that usually the women play
are
this role.
So good at that.
They play this role. Yeah, 100%.
I'm going to go clean the kitchen, but I'm going to throw the pots in the sink so everyone knows I'm in here and I'm mad. You know, like oh my gosh, women are so good at it. Come on, next one.
The blame shifter. You use the phrase, you make me feel. It says, no one makes you feel anything. You choose to feel that way. How powerful is that? Like, look, this is crazy good stuff right here. And this is deep, but the moment you can say, dude, nobody made me feel like that. Like my wife didn't make me feel like that. I chose to take that thought and turn it into a feeling. And as soon as you say, I chose that feeling, man, like life can't hurt you. You can't be messed with. Right? I was thinking of another word for some reason. But like when you have that crazy mentality of like, dude, no, I chose that feeling. I chose to be mad. I chose to be angry. Nobody made me angry. Like that's crazy. It's crazy good. How long was that there for?
I don't know.
Holy smokes. But anyways, don't be the blame shifter. And last one is Eeyore.
Eeyore?
The Eeyore. You believe life happens to you, not for you. Yeah, the melancholy. Oh, this sucks. Nobody likes the Eeyore.
Nobody well, he's cute, but nobody wants to hang out with him.
He is kind of cute, but not cute enough. Let me tell you that.
Not cute enough to be married to.
Yeah. So yeah, don't let that happen.
So what is the greatest fix for the victim mentality, would you say?
The greatest fix. How
do you fix it? If somebody's listening to this and they're like, man, I think I kind of do that. How do you fix that? Read Extreme Ownership. That's a good place to start. But what's practical?
Yeah, well, look, I'll give you a couple tools.
Oh, shoot, my live turned off.
Oh, it did?
Okay, go ahead.
Turn it back on?
No, go
No.
ahead.
Okay, so I'll give you a couple tools. First one is the vocabulary audit. So sometimes you just got to ban some phrases, right? So it's like, instead of you make me, say, I feel X when Y happens, right? That's just a practical one. Or ban a phrase, I have to, and replace it with, I get to, or I choose to. These are common things in life that we don't think about, but we say every day, right? How many times do you get out of bed and you say, I have to go, change the diapers right now.
Yeah.
I have to go pick up the kitchen.
You get to.
Get to. And that's a subtle change, but it makes your whole perspective of the day way different.
Huge, yeah.
Right? And I do this all the time with the gym. Sometimes I'm like, dude, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to go work out. But then I'm like, dude, there's people right now that would love to walk into a gym. They can't lift a weight. They would love to go just be able to go run a mile. Are you kidding me? That would be like the greatest day of their life.
Yeah.
And I'm over here complaining about it. I don't know. I think about that stuff sometimes. You like that tool?
Yeah, definitely.
You have anything to add on? Well,
I don't know why this is coming to my mind, but I'm just going to say it because it's there. Is if you find I would say just choose it sounds like such a new agey thing. And I'm not a new age person, I promise. But choose high vibe
we talk about
activities.
That a lot. We talk about that a lot.
If you find yourself being a litigious person, I'm going to sue them for this, or I'm writing a review on your thing because you didn't like it. Dude, low vibe. Stay out of that nonsense. If you buy something that you didn't like, forget it. Just buy something different or return it or whatever. But stay away from the low vibe behavior. High vibe.
Hashtag no low vibes. High vibes only.
And I know that
energy is
so
a real
silly.
thing. Energy is a real thing.
And you get to choose what you're going to focus on and what you're going to do with it. Don't choose to waste your time on the low. Give me another example of a low vibe activity.
Oh, there's so many of them.
The complaining.
Somebody cuts you off on the freeway. Look, high vibe is, dude, that guy was rushing to go see his wife at the hospital and he needs to get to the baby.
Because either way, you're telling yourself a story. You're not going to know the truth. Tell yourself a story that doesn't make you mad.
Yes. All the time.
Because why the heck not?
Yeah. Choose high vibes. I mean, every situation, right? Oh, Starbucks is taking longer than usual. You're going to sit there and be like, oh, this Starbucks, that girl is never doing the right stuff. Or you're going to be like, dude, you know what? They're just super busy today. A couple employees skipped today and they're just falling behind. But look, here's the great part. I get to listen to a podcast. Here's the great part. I get to learn right now. I get to talk to my spouse. I get to talk to my kids in the back of the car. This is awesome.
Yes.
Like there's so many high vibe, low vibe things that you can do throughout the day.
Perfect examples.
That happen all the time.
Because here's the thing. The guy that cut you off on the freeway, his day is not any worse because you're mad at him. Or the barista that's taking too long, her day is not any worse off because you're mad at them. Your day is worse because you decide to be mad and angry and let it bother you. Your day is worse.
Yes. Don't poison yourself.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Life is it's a powerful statement, but I do believe life is frequency. A lot of it is frequency. I believe, not to get crazy woo-woo, but I think a lot of money is frequency too. Mm-hmm. High frequency people make more money. This is a proven stat, by the way.
And that's why you can take money away from a wealthy person and they're going to make it again.
Yeah.
Because.
Yeah. And guess what the low vibe person is going to say? Those rich people, like, you know what? I guarantee you he had rich parents. Somebody gave him that money. Do you know that and this happens a lot with wealthy people because everybody's like, oh, well, they got inheritance. They're rich because of this. They're rich because of this. Only like 7% of rich people inherited it. Dave Ramsey does studies on this. Mm-hmm. Like 93% of rich people that you see, it's because they did something right. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And don't be low vibe. Just stop the low vibes, man. We should create a 7-day challenge. No high vibes, challenge. High vibes only.
We should figure that out because I think it'll
change your life. It'll change your life.
And like I said at the very beginning of this podcast, the victim mentality will not only ruin your marriage, it'll ruin your life. You've got to shed the victim mentality. It has no place in your life. It has none.
They came out with a study. I read you the study.
Tell me it.
And it was talking about how the number one predictor of somebody's success in life. You remember this? It was a Harvard study. They did it over 25 years of somebody's success in life.
Isn't it their ability to handle adversity?
No.
No. Okay. What was it?
What the study showed after it was a 25-year study just came out. The number one predictor of somebody's success is the 5 closest people that they hang around. Mm. It's the proximity to the people in their life. And guess what they found? Who was the number one person?
Their spouse.
Their spouse. That was the number one person that dictated and influenced their life the most. Mm-hmm. Why? Because you're with that person every day. You see them every day.
You share a
their
bank
thoughts
account.
Infiltrate your mind. You share the bed. Like that person is the person. So if you're going to live a good life, you have to have a good marriage. Mm-hmm. You can't live a good life without a good marriage if you're married. It doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then why not spend tons of time on high vibes, learning these tools, doing the stuff to live the marriage that you want to live, because it makes every other area of your life better.
Right. And just because it pertains to what we're talking about, you can sit there and, oh, my husband doesn't do this, so I can't do that or whatever. Or just stop and think, I'm going to choose to be a blessing to my husband. I'm going to choose to support him. I'm going to choose to encourage him and love him and respect him and write him a little love note. And like I said, life is hard enough without adding marital problems. Be the most comfortable, warmest, best, safest place for your spouse. Like just challenge yourself.
Always.
Don't be their biggest critic.
There's enough of those.
There's enough of those. Don't be the person who has to point out every flaw they already know. Be the biggest cheerleader. Be the warmest hug they've ever had. There's enough of all the other stuff. Yeah. There's enough of that.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to be you.
Yep. And don't add any buts. I mean, well, maybe some buts. No,
tell me what you mean by that.
Well, no, look, meaning don't say, oh, well, I'm going to cheerlead for my husband, but if he does X, I am not going to continue to cheerlead for him. Right. It's like, I'm going to cheerlead for him.
And part of being a good cheerleader and a good helpmate is like, there is a time as a wife or as a spouse where you have to call out the nonsense.
100%.
But
that is a wife's duty too.
But it can be done in a loving and gentle way. It does not need to be done in a critical way.
Yes. You have the framework for that because you did that.
I don't know if I have the framework because I don't know how I would tell other people to do it other than like, just be kind, be gentle, like really have
coach,
not
criticize,
coach, not critic, but like you really need to make sure your heart posture is coming from a place of like genuine help and encouragement and not, oh my God, I can't believe you don't do this. I can't believe I have to like, you know, like
bad vibes again.
Bad
it
vibes.
goes back to the bad vibes.
It's bad vibes.
Look, I think dude, we're going to go to the high vibe, low vibe throughout the day. Ask yourself, if I do this, is this low vibe or high vibe?
Is this a high vibe activity or a low vibe?
Low vibe
and
activity.
If it's low vibe, just stop.
Cut it.
Just stop.
Cut the crap.
That should be the name of this podcast. But I think it's so important. Make or break your life.
Tool number 2. Ready for this? For the next 7 days, you take 100% responsibility for the vibe of your home, expecting 0 in return.
Which is really hard.
You know what this is called? It's called the 100-0 rule. You take 100% even if your spouse gives 0 for the next 7 days. Can somebody do that for 7 days? You know why 7 days? Tony Robbins talks about this. He talks about a practice where you change every negative thought to a positive thought for 7 days. And he says it'll change your life. This practice right here will change your life. 100% responsibility is all on you, even if your spouse doesn't. And I guarantee you what's going to happen after 7 days. You're going to realize, wait a minute, I thought this was going to be horrible, but actually I see some differences.
Right.
Don't kill the fly.
It's a mosquito.
Thoughts?
If I don't kill it, it'll get me.
Thoughts?
No, I don't have any thoughts.
No thoughts?
Nope.
Okay. And I like this one. This is the last tool for dropping the victim mentality. And it's called drop the rope. And how this one works is imagine 2 teams are tug-a-roping, right? Your wife's pulling on one end and your husband's pulling on the other. Well, do you guys want to keep pulling the rope and tug-of-warring, or is somebody just going to freaking drop the rope? I'm not looking to beat you. I'm not looking to win you. I'm not looking to say I'm better than you. I'm just going to drop the rope. And like, let's, instead of tugging on opposite sides, how about we pick up the same side together and take it with us?
Right.
Right. And so that's the tool. It's like, if you feel like you're tug-of-warring in your marriage, just drop the rope.
Well, you give this analogy that I think is really important of with the same rope, you can either hang yourself or save yourself. And you get to decide what you're going to do with the rope. But if somebody's throwing you a rope, like this is kind of a rope for people. Like if you've got the victim mentality, are you going to hang yourself and say, well, no, but I'm right and I'm justified, so I'm staying here? Okay, hang yourself, go ahead. Or you can use this podcast as the rope to climb out of that hole and shed the victim mentality. But hang yourself or save yourself. It's the same rope.
Dude, I love that. I don't know if you know this. My first job where I worked for a mentor, he came up to me and he gave me that rope speech. He said, Rich, my job in this company is just to hand you rope.
Just to give you the rope.
And he's like, you're either going to do one of 2 things with that rope. You're going to take it and you're going to hang yourself with it. Or you're going to take it and you're going to climb a ladder so big in this company, you're going to be unrecognizable.
Yeah. And I feel like as your wife, I kind of have to do that for you a lot because as now you're the business owner that's employing people, right? And so not only do you throw people the rope, but sometimes you feel like you have to save them too. And I have to constantly remind you, like, babe, that is not your job. You
give them the rope
and then step back and let them do what they're going to do with the rope. But that's hard for you, I think.
It's very hard. I mean, it's just human.
You have such a good heart and you're so like, you really care about people. And so you really want to save them too. You're like, not only am I going to give you this rope, but I'm going to help you climb out. It's like, no, you can't do that. Yeah. They've got to do what they're going to do with the rope.
It's hard. You feel a responsibility to save people.
Yeah.
But it's like, I know it's tough. It's tricky.
Yeah. Because when you pull people out with the rope, you realize that you didn't actually help them. They just fall back in the hole again.
Which I've seen over and over.
Over and over again.
All right. Give me your thoughts on this one.
Oh, I thought it was so good.
Which one?
All of them. I meant the episode. I thought the episode was good.
Give me your thoughts on this quote.
Oh, okay.
Ready? Your marriage problems are not a mystery. They are a harvest. If you don't like what you're reaping, stop blaming the soil and check the seeds you've been planting.
Yes. 100% agree. I think it ends right there. I'm going to make that an Instagram quote this week. I think that's so good. Done.
That's going to be it.
I have nothing else.
So listen, folks, thanks for listening. And we appreciate you guys. And I will encourage everybody listening to this podcast, whether you're a husband, a wife, maybe you're looking to get married, because we are having a lot of people that tell us that they're preparing for marriage. But take the 7-day challenge. Take the challenge where you say, you know what, for 7 days, I'm just going to take 100% ownership of everything in my life, expecting nothing in return from my spouse or anything.
Yep.
And I think that would be amazing.
Yes, I agree.
Sparkchecking.com. Guys, you will love it. It's a great Christmas gift. First link in the description below. And we will see you guys for the next one.
Yes. Love you.
Love you.